Hello and welcome to another episode of Garden to Table with Rose, and I am Rose. So I am doing a quick tour of the front yard. It is September the 19th and I am going to do a quick tour of the yard because things are starting to go out of season and so I want to capture it one last time, but yeah, it's still looking good though. I mean, our first frost date here is about October 15th, so we don't have much time. And I've done a lot of my fall maintenance already. The only thing I haven't done is plant my bulbs, which haven't arrived yet. I usually do that sometime in October, but I've cleared out everything I need to clear out. So let me start over here in my little moon garden. I ended up pulling out all of those drift roses. I say all of those, I had two, but they were a lot bigger than I was expecting them to be. They were turning into like some little 2 to 3 foot shrubs, and I thought they would be more like a ground cover thing. So yeah, I pulled out all those drift roses. I've just gotten into the mindset that I don't want to deal with thorns unless I have to. Now I will deal with thorns on the full size roses because they are worth it. But those drift roses are these tiny little blooms, and they were just decorative to have something bloomy over in this moon garden throughout the summer. And I didn't want to deal with the thorns on those. They were very sharp. So I pulled those out. I had 2 of the drift roses in white. And then already, look at this. I'm telling you, this Orlea is amazing. This Orlea has reseeded from spring, summer when it was blooming, early summer, and they're already popping up everywhere. And I've pulled several out just by digging out things because they were kind of everywhere. I may try to move some of them because like some of them are here in the walkway. That's not a good thing. They get pretty tall, so they can't be there. But they definitely, Orlea reseeds very easily, so it's a good one for sure. I have some over here, which I'm happy about. I like it as using it in cut flower bouquets. So all the lamb's ear luckily has bounced back that I divided up. There's one there and moved all around, so it's finally looking pretty good. I do need to weed out here still. I removed all of my little yard decorations and bird baths and all that stuff because it is getting cold, so I try to do these things incrementally so I don't have so much to do all at once. Look at this moon rock hydrangea. It's gotten this pink fall color. It's pretty. It's like a dusty rose. The rosemaries. I will dig these up when I plant the bulbs. I did cut back this 9 bark because it was just kind of lanky, had a few very long stems on it, so I cut that back and hopefully it'll flush out in the spring and be lush and beautiful. Let's see, what do I have going on here? This rose is that's the Julia Child, I believe. They bloomed pretty prolifically this summer, and I cut those back, but now they're growing again. I don't think I cut the Henry Fonda back because it had a lot of blooms, but I may just go ahead and cut them down because whatever is on them, virus or whatever, I don't want it spreading around. So maybe if I cut it all the way down to the ground, like I've done some of them already for the fall, maybe that'll help. And you probably don't need to cut them down, I'm sure, especially if you want them to get tall. But I don't know. I'm just really worried about diseases with roses. Although these are supposed to be resistant types, still, roses can be difficult. Pinky Winky hydrangeas, they are doing well. They're getting a lot bigger. And then they have a variegated bloom where it's darker at the bottom and gets light at the top. They also have those same spots on it. It's almost like some kind of something, maybe from it being so wet, bacteria or something, fungus. I don't know, but I don't like it. Anyway, these continue to get bigger. These little wee whites, they're pretty full. The two that are growing, the one is still just a tiny one, the third one. But this rose, Mr. Lincoln, is blooming prolifically. Here we are. It's cold. In the mornings, particularly, it's pretty cold, and it's still going strong. So the Gatsby's over here are growing, getting bigger. Another pinky winky, and then the fluffy arborvitaes. I do like those. Those are gonna shoot up. I think those are supposed to be like 5 to 6 feet tall. I did pull out all the lysianthus that was here in this front row to make way for tulips. This is where all of my tulips are going to go for next year. I'm trying to rotate them. So last year I should say, or this year, I had them on that side of the border of the driveway. Now there's chrysanthemums there, but this year I'm going to put them here. And let's see what else is over here. Another hydrangea. This is Little Lime Punch. Here it has not flowered yet, but it's getting taller. And then there is a PG hydrangea over there that I'm pruning up into a tree. This, I believe, is like a Hyssop anise or something to that effect that I had cut all the way down. Actually, I thought I pulled it out, but yet it springs up again. So I will leave it. The pollinators really like that. I was just trying to space some of this stuff out because this was getting pretty crowded. There are a couple of these little pink roses. Now, I'm not going to pull those out because for whatever reason, those seem easier to deal with, even though they have thorns too. And I like that pink color over here. So I will leave those. This yew is doing well. You know that when I first planted this last year, when it got cold, all of the needles fell off of it. I mean, it was completely like bare. I thought it was dead. And then it came back in the spring. So, yeah. What else is over here? There's another, I think that's a little quickfire hydrangea over there. And then I got my weeping redbud here, which I just planted this season, so it's growing pretty fast. And let me go on the outside here. This is the snowball viburnum. I'm looking forward to this in the spring. Those white blooms is pretty. It reminds me of a hydrangea. I really like it. And then all the chrysanthemums, I have been cutting them. They are beautiful. You know, these cutting chrysanthemums. Look at that. Like, they remind me of dahlias, but they're easier to deal with. Not as many bugs mess with the blooms, for one. Dahlias, I have to cover them with little organza bags to keep all these bugs from chewing on the leaves. These seem to be a little bit lower maintenance, and I'm hoping they perennialize. They're supposed to be perennials, but you never know. Look at that one. Oh, they're so pretty. And I have several different colors, and they are gorgeous. I need to come cut some more soon and make another bouquet. But man, I really like those. Look at this variegated sage. It has gotten huge. This is just one sage plant here. And it's sage. You can cook with it. I have one in the back too, actually. That one, I don't really... It's more decorative because I do have one in the back. So the bugleweed is bouncing back. It kind of died off when it got really hot. This is juga. And now it's flushing out again, I guess because it's cool. It seems to like cool weather. All right, let me go this way. What do I have here? Alright, let's see. Yarrow. The yarrow just gets bigger and bigger. This is why I said I only leave these in for 2 years at the most, because they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they take over the whole area. So that one's probably going to have to come out maybe in the spring. My butterfly bushes that I just planted this season are getting really big. All of the butterfly bushes were planted this season. And look at this. I did want to capture this one more time because it's going out. This is a sweet autumn clematis, and look, let me stare back a little bit. Just look at it. Oh my gosh, it's covered with these white blooms, even though I was trimming this thing every week because, as you can see, it wants to close up the gap here in this arbor so you couldn't get through. So I was trimming on it every week. I was worried that I was trimming buds off or something, and yet it is still prolifically blooming. It's on its way out, but the smell is wonderful. It has a wonderful sweet smell, hence sweet autumn, but you can see the blooms are starting to fall off of it. So that one's going out. The oak leaf hydrangeas keep getting bushier for sure. What else? These sages, blue sages, Russian sages, salvias, all that stuff that I transplanted up seems to be doing well. Again, look how big this yarrow is. You may not be able to tell, but this is at least 3 to 4 feet wide. Yeah, it's just, they just get massive. And I just transplanted all these up here this season, and they were like half that size. Another one of the butterfly bushes. Those have really taken off. Amazing. The yellow one I trimmed back because it was so huge. It was turned into like a tree, and you can see it there, the yellow butterfly bush. It's grown back. I mean, I had trimmed it all down. But the pollinators love that one. The bees are always all over that one, as well as the butterflies. Look at that rosemary. OMG. It's so big. This thing is, see, it's about 3 feet tall, and it's like 4 feet wide. It's huge. I don't know if I'll have a pot big enough for that. I want to dig it up. I can't survive out here. Oh, look at those elephant ears. That one's really gotten pretty tall in there. I love those. Another huge yarrow. Yeah, I have to dig out those elephant ears too. This Quanzon cherry blossom tree is getting tall. I don't know how tall it is now, but it's way taller than me. I don't know if it's 8. It's about 8 feet at least. Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to seeing that bloom when it finally goes into bloom. This is its 3rd year, I believe. 2nd or 3rd year, something like that. And this, oh, it's forming buds. Look at that. This is the Duchess of Edinburgh clematis. There are 2 of them, and I just planted these this summer. And I had one bloom, and now it looks like it wants to bloom again, which I don't know if that's normal for it to bloom this late in the season. Interesting. And then this variegated maple. Oh, that's so pretty. It is doing well. And can you imagine, once it's reached its potential, its height, it is a more dwarf variety. So I can't remember the max it's supposed to get, but it's, I'm sure, under 8 feet. So, but that pink against the hydrangea here, pink that it turns later in the season, OMG. All I need over here is some kind of a purple, which this, if it survives, this little Japanese maple should give me some darker red leaves or something in the fall once it gets bigger. But what also would look good over here, which I may move over here for next year, is that deep red burgundy elephant ear. So I may move that over in this area for next year so it can, the color can complement here. Also, this 9 bark is also the same kind of dark burgundy, but it's still very small. This is the 2nd season. So once that gets bigger, that'll really complement it as well. My poor Annabelle hydrangea is so droopy. It's propped up, tied up, but I like it. I like those blooms, and I'm going to keep it. It's a very old variety, but I love it. So everything over here has gotten so much bigger. I have not really been on this side in the last couple of weeks because, you know, it's the end of the season. My chores have died down. I haven't done weeding as much as I should, and oh, look at that. It's an old one now, but look at that. Oh, it's like a dusty rose with a little bit of purple in it or something. Anywho, I digress. Anyway, everything over here has gotten so much taller since I last did one of these tours. Even the hostas that I transplanted over here with a weed growing in it, even they've gotten bigger. Yeah, man. So these plants are liking, I think, these milder temperatures now that it's cooling off. Especially, I guess these shade plants probably would like it a little bit cooler. But yeah, everything over here is looking good. This, I think, is this a dogwood right here? It has a tag on it. Let me check. Yeah, neon burst dogwood. This one is getting big, and that's one that I wanted to use for foliage, for a filler in bouquets. And that's the bluebeard coreopsis. So yeah, I am happy with the front garden. Look at this white salvia. It's huge. That's one plant. Oh, hopefully I'm not moving too fast. It's chilly this morning. I don't know what the temperature is. It's probably like 60. That's chilly. I mean, when we're used to summer. So it'll get progressively colder for sure. This mint julep rose, I haven't seen many blooms, and this has that pink on it too, but the uniqueness about this is that it has green petals, or they have a lime tint to them, at least the outer ones do. So that's very unique. I really like it. And as you can see, like the lamb's ear that I transplanted is bouncing back. I'm gonna have to break up this artemisia. It's just getting too much. It's spreading everywhere. So I will divide this. I'm trying to think if I want to do it in the spring or the fall. We'll see once I start planting the bulbs. The Bosnian pine is a little bit bigger. I'm very excited about that Bosnian pine. It's just beautiful. Look at it. Once it gets taller, it's another one that's supposed to, the cultivar I picked is one that's supposed to stay fairly short. So we'll see. But more of the lamb's ear that I transplanted. Those sky pencil hollies are finally kind of really putting on some size. That one's probably about 4 feet now. These elephant ears, these are 2 bulbs here, the dark red and then one green, and man, they're massive. I mean, I can't even explain to you how long this leaf is. This leaf is probably 3 feet. Yeah, see my hand. It's probably 3 feet long. And then these ruby slippers hydrangeas. I love this color. Look at this. It is the most vibrant pink. It's almost like a neon pink, and then it fades to this almost like brown, some kind of brown once it gets old. That's actually really pretty. It'll be even prettier once they get mature. But yeah, and then all these barberry bushes, they're putting on a little bit of height too. I like this one. It has like a variegated leaf, these two. And then there are 2 others over there that are more right now of a chartreuse, bright green. So even the mini rose here, which I couldn't bear to pull out because it was so dainty and adorable with this deep red bloom, even that has put on growth. The red twig dogwood is getting fairly large here. Yeah, so everything has grown. Oh, look at this color. OMG. It's like a pink. It's like a pink, and then it turns peach as it goes more towards the center. This is another chrysanthemum. And then this one, oh my. I think these weren't blooming too much last time I did a video, so I'm just now kind of seeing their full color. But this one is very similar. That might be the same variety, but it's a little bit of a more peach in the center of this one. The nose. Beautiful. And then this one is very unique. This one is like yellow with pink at the edges. And then this is one plant. It's very bizarre. And then you come over here and it's like all kind of peach. So I don't know if it's that it turns colors as it ages or what. But oh yeah, those chrysanthemums are beautiful. I really like those, and I'm hoping I can even add some more next season. They were inexpensive. It was like the end of the chrysanthemum season where I got them from, and it might have been Bluestone perennials online, but they were like $5 a piece, I think. So I ordered like I don't know, 20 of them. It's a lot of them. And they have not disappointed. Another one of the rosemaries here that I have to dig up. Another one of the moonrock hydrangeas. I think I pointed that out. But yeah, I did move all of my pots with my evergreens to this section. And I'm going to overwinter them there. The shorter ones I will probably cover with some burlap to try to help insulate them. These smaller ones. But I think this is good. I mean, they're protected in the back by the house. And like I said, these pots are heavy, even though the pots are plastic. They're like 20-inch pots in the dirt. They're full of dirt. And they're fairly heavy. So I can't carry those all to the back again. So they will stay here. As you can see, I moved my planter off of the porch. It was there for probably 3 years since I got it. And I'm glad I moved it. It just looks better actually with my chair here. It's more leg room. So I like that. And it wasn't getting any sun is why I moved it. And so nothing really would grow there other than maybe lettuce or something. So I took it to the back where it's in full sun. But yeah. And then my little pots here, these actually have cool flower seeds in them. And every year I do this. I have these little plastic, they're actually balls. I just divided the ball in half. It comes apart and makes 2 domes. And so I have these in several colors. So seasonally I change them until stuff starts growing in those pots. So this is my fall color. And then I put like a white in the winter. And then I have a solid green one that I can use if I want, you know. So over here, let's see. I still got some feverfew here blooming. I'm gonna cut that soon. Yeah, and this is where I'm gonna plant all my feverfew. This whole strip here. Another elephant ear, that one didn't get that big. It was kind of crowded out. There was a lot of stuff in here that I moved around. The hydrangea is doing well. This Invincible Sublime, I think it is. The coneflowers have gone over. But I'm leaving the seed heads there. I read that they're good for the pollinators or birds, birds that they like to eat those in the winter. So we'll see. But yeah. So that is the garden. Here we are, mid-September, going into our dormant season, and there's still a lot of beauty out here. There are some things still in bloom. The hydrangeas, of course, you know, love the fall. That's when they turn their beautiful colors usually. And then, you know, even the structure of them in the cold season is nice because even though they're brown, it still adds a structural element to the garden. So I do not think I will prune them until spring. Yeah. So that's all I got going on in the front yard. And yeah, I may do one more tour when I plant the bulbs. I'm not sure. But you know, we're kind of at the end here. So it's been a wonderful season. It's, like I said before, exceeded my expectations, especially this front garden because it's mostly new. So the fact that it has filled in like it has and it looks so lush, I can't believe it. And I can't believe I did it by myself. All of this was just like a shovel, a wheelbarrow. You know, yeah, it's been a lot of work. A lot of manual labor, but it is definitely worth it. So until next time, bye bye.